You know, I went back and I watched 40-Year-Old Virgin again, and I watched Superbad, and the thing that strikes me is, I know the process, especially on 40-Year-Old Virgin, involves some improv.
Yeah.
And also on Knocked Up. And I guess I'm curious how you were able to get on those big sets with so many actors and improv, because I feel like to do improv, you have to be totally in the present, not self-critical of what's coming out of your mouth, not worried about whether it's funny or not.
I think as I've made more movies, I've grown to appreciate how great a lot of the improvisers that I started out working with are, and how it is not a skill that is held by everyone. And that a lot of those people did not improvise like funny actors, they improvised like writers. They weren't just saying—
What's the difference?
The difference is jokes versus story.
Okay.
And knowing that jokes are only really funny if they are directly supported by the story. And when I look back at what Paul Rudd and Carell and Franco, when we were doing Pineapple Express, we improvised a lot. Like, they were all thinking of it like writers. They weren't thinking of it just through the lens of like, what would a person say in this situation? They're thinking of it of like, how do I move the story forward? And I think the reason I was good at improvising is that I was a writer, and I didn't approach it like an actor. I wasn't thinking like, what would my character say in this moment? I was thinking like, what would I hope a character would say in this moment to make this whole scene better and move this story forward and make it all seem more natural and round out the edges that dialogue has sometimes, you know? And that is really the difference, is I think like great improvisers are writers, not just actors who are like, what would my character say right now? Because often what your character would say right now like derails the whole scene.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Are you still hard on yourself when it's happening, like, I couldn't think of anything better, or?
Yeah, what I see more is I get annoyed with other people.
What do you mean?
And I like see it in the dailies. Like when I was young, if I'm in a scene with someone who is improvising a bunch of shit I know is useless, I like can't pretend that I don't. Like I see myself like get a look on my face, just like no, well, we're just wasting time right now. Like I think maybe because I wasn't as good at recognizing what would be useful and what wouldn't be, I would maybe like go along for the flight of fancy. But now I'm like, we're like, none of this will be in the movie. Sure, it seems funny now,
You're
and
cutting
the
it as
camera
you're—
guys are laughing, but like, what I know is just because everyone on set is laughing doesn't mean it's funny, and just because no one on set thinks it's funny doesn't mean it's not funny. Because I've had enough of those, both of those happen. There are scenes that I've shot where I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like, this is pointless garbage. And it turns out to be really, really, really funny. And there are other scenes where I've been like, we're the funniest people on earth, and then you like test it once and you're like, oh no, we were very wrong.
What is the barrier standing between being able to see it in the present versus?
I think there's no accounting for taste is one thing. You just never, it's hard. We've gotten better at it, and what we've gotten much better at is creating an infrastructure to support the fact that it is hard to, with 100% certainty, predict what a movie theater full of people is going to laugh at. That is just something we've seen enough times that we learn to protect ourselves, and we've learned to get options on things where it's like, okay, if this is bad, what could we do instead? And if the structure of the movie is good and each scene really leads to the next and has a good conflict and characters that have good dynamics that you understand and it's all working towards something good, then that does like 90% of the work.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.